there and welcome once again to Burn on Humber. It has been a rather long time since I did a spoken video and I do apologise for that. Life has been rather busy and work has been busy and there's been sort of health issues ongoing, and most of all I moved house, so I decided to put my layout on sort of standby. I'd got to that point where I was just about to start my layout finally, and decided that I didn't really want to keep putting up with moving house all the time with rented properties, and decided maybe I'll look at actually buying a house for the first time in my life. So with that in mind, I've ended up moving from York to Grantham simply because the house prices are better, and yeah, so I have a sort of more permanent basis for a layout. And meanwhile, unfortunately, I haven't done many videos simply because, as I say, most of my gear has been packed away for the move and I hadn't started on the layout. So I've mostly just been doing videos based around train spotting meanwhile. So looking at the video for today, it's based around a subscriber special. It's been a little while since I passed the 200 mark. More significantly for me, I passed the 225 mark, and that is the theme of the subscriber special. So I've gotten fairly interested in the last 6 months in the Intercity 125 and the Intercity 225. And yeah, this is the train that I catch to work when I go down to London, so the East Coast 225. And yeah, so I thought I'll use that as the basis for my subscriber special. So as you can see here, we've got two of the, if I move this in a little bit closer, we've got a couple of the train packs there. So this is actually the Flying Scotsman, and then I've got a series of the carriages there as well. At the stage that I decided that I really wanted to get one of these, it was getting quite difficult to get hold of this at this stage, so I ended up buying one of the train packs initially, and it comes with the DVT and the power loco, and it also comes with a couple of standard coaches. Then I was trying to get hold of more standard coaches because I wanted to do a full rake, and that was fairly hard to get hold of. Then I came across a bargain with the second pack there. It was the last one that they had, and it was sort of well under half price. So I got hold of that simply because it was actually cheaper to buy another train pack than it was to actually try and pay for another couple of standard coaches. Meanwhile, I also grabbed hold of the buffet coach, which you can see here. So again, they're getting fairly expensive to get hold of, so if you are thinking about getting a 225 or an East Coast train, probably grab them while you can, because they really are disappearing. As I say, the standard coaches are particularly difficult to get rid of. And then I also got I got one more standard coach as well. So that's Coach D there. The ones that come in the train pack, they are I think B and C. And then finally I also got 3 first class coaches as well. So basically I'll be able to do the full rake. So you know, I have 5 standard class, and I'll renumber those, so basically B through to F. And then first class, which is M, K and L, I guess. And then the buffet coach is Coach H. Okay, so I started off with the 2 train packs there. I got the first one from the local model shop in York, who I normally tried to support. That's Monkboa Models, really good guys. When you buy any sort of the trains in their shop, they'll fit DCC for you for free. You obviously have to pay for the DCC chip, but the fitting they'll do for free, so I got that done. And yes, yeah, so that's my 225. I won't bother sort of opening up the boxes or anything now, because I will do a review in the future, so I'll open those up from scratch and do a review of the different coaches and of the locos and so on themselves as well. Okay, so looking out towards the other subscriber special, if people have been subscribed to my channel, as you'll know that I normally do a competition. And with that in mind, keeping not with the theme of 225, but keeping with the theme of the Flying Scotsman, the competition for this is actually going to be this DVD giveaway. So it's a DVD collection about the Flying Scotsman, so it's the official collection there. Yeah, so I'll be giving away this DVD collection. So there's 3 DVDs and a memorabilia collection there. So if we open it up, so we've got it comes in sort of a hard box there. So put the box aside. I guess have a bit of a look. As basically I talked a little bit about the 3 different videos there. So there's one called Tender Memories, which is 1966. I did have a watch of the DVDs. I was mostly because if I'm going to be doing the video, I really wanted to be able to sort of tell you a bit about them. The Tender Memories 1966 was a bit of an odd video. It was not particularly well filmed, and the guy doing the narration was rather odd. He sort of had these imaginary conversations with himself. It was quite odd. So I didn't find that one that good. Then there's, so that's from 1966. The second video is shot in Australia when the Flying Scotsman went across to Australia and toured all around the country there. And there's also footage of some other sort of traditional engines and sort of preserved engines in Australia there as well. So I found that quite interesting. Obviously being from Australia, it was sort of interesting to me. But yeah, it was a lot better filmed, and yeah, really quite an interesting video. Then the final one is basically a year in the life of the Flying Scotsman, which was shot in 2000. There's actually 2 movies on that particular video on the DVD there. There's one A Day in the Life of, and one called A Year in the Life of. And yeah, that was very interesting, sort of talking about the history and who's owned it, and at that stage in 2000, the guy who had bought it at that stage. Since then, obviously, it's ended up in the NRM, I believe. And yes, I think he went broke during one of the recessions, I believe. And yeah, so there's the 3 DVDs, and yeah, those last 2 are particularly good. So yeah, well worth a watch, whoever does end up winning this. And then the other thing that comes along with the set, so basically you see if you take that out, it folds out, so you've got the 3 DVDs there, and then it sort of folds out, and then you've got this memorabilia sort of set as well. And yes, then there's this memorabilia pack, so it's quite spiffy looking little cardboard parcel there. You could take that out. So inside there you've got sort of booklet about the Flying Scotsman, piano solo George Scott Wood. I don't believe that really is. Well, it actually is a piano solo. Wow, I didn't actually look through these before, so there's actually some sheet music there. So if any of you are musically talented, you'll be able to play some music based upon the Flying Scotsman. Rather interesting. Then there's this card here, and if I open that up, so it's basically a sort of facsimile of the one of the menus. So it's got all the wines there, and what you actually get for luncheon and for your morning coffee and afternoon tea. So if you're on the train. Then there's a sort of like a little business card sort of thing there for the Flying Scotsman, so just an advertising card. There is again another one there for the wine list, so the Flying Scotsman 1862 to 1962, so for the centenary there. And yeah, again it's got a list of all the different wines that they served, and cigars and cigarettes and confectionery back in 1962, before all the worries about smoking, I guess. Okay, then there's a leaflet here. So Save Our Scotsman, and some more information there. So based in Stirling Road in Edinburgh. Then we've got a whole bunch of blueprints, so which is pretty interesting. So you can see that there. It's yeah, the Flying Scotsman. So it's basically got the head plates and so on. So you've got the Flying Scotsman, the Harrogate Sunday Pullman, the Scandinavian, and the Easterling, and various bits of information there as well. And then it's actually got blueprints of the loco and the tender as well. So I won't show all of this, but you can see here there's basically the blueprints of the tender and so on. So if you're looking to build a kit, I guess that would be quite useful to you. So yeah, so that's all the ones of the tender. So sort of the famous tender that they had, where you could actually walk through the tender, or crawl through the tender, so that they could swap shifts without having to stop the train. And the same, sort of picking up water on the troughs halfway and so on, so more than halfway, I guess. So that yeah, so the train didn't have to stop, so it was sort of express. And then there's got blueprints of the loco itself. So yeah, some pretty interesting stuff there. And there's also some information here. Got information about the boiler inside and sort of the inner workings and so on. So yeah, it looks quite interesting. Then you've also got the engine record card, so a facsimile of that as well, which looks quite interesting. And there's a postcard of the Flying Scotsman, sort of in its heyday, and yeah, sort of a really nice little sort of vintage style postcard there. And then finally there's another brochure here that's the Flying Scotsman Your Journey Times, and basically it's just a timetable of the train. So yeah, it's a little sort of package there of different little bits of memorabilia. And yeah, so that will be the competition for my subscriber special for 225. So going back in history from the 225 being the Flying Scotsman, the modern version, and obviously doesn't really compare to the Flying Scotsman in its heyday. And I'm not sort of that big a fan of the Flying Scotsman myself. However, I am interested in the East Coast Main Line, and there's been a big part of that history and so on. So I'm sure people will find that interesting. So yeah, if you want to win the DVD, basically leave comments down below. If you could sort of indicate in the comment that you are interested in going into the competition, that would be really useful. Usual proviso that you'll need to be able to provide an address so I can send the prize to you if you win. And yes, so that's basically it. I'll probably leave it around about a couple of weeks until such time as we've sort of got some entries and so on. I haven't really decided exactly what date. I'll update the video. I might put a message over the top of this. But yes, so basically around about 2 or 3 weeks' time, we'll have a closer of the competition, and I'll do a video of a prize draw, and we'll see who wins. Okay, so that's basically everything. As I say, it's such a long time since I've done a spoken video, and I just really wanted to do a subscriber special. I really do appreciate all the people that have subscribed to my channel. Thank you very much, and for all the support that you give and so on. And sorry that the videos have been sort of fairly scarce. Now that I have moved and I've started getting settled in, I will be doing reviews again. I will be starting the layout. That's all sort of coming quite soon. I've basically started getting everything set up for that. Yes, so basically the channel will pick up and have a lot more activity in the near future. Okay, thanks for listening, and yeah, bye for now. Hope you win the competition. Bye for now.